Is Saudi a viable place for top England players to play, Martin? The same players who have very much high hopes of being included in Southgate's plans.
Well, I think the very fact that Henderson needed to ask the question, he realised that there is some doubt in that area about the quality of player. But when you look at the list of players going there now, obviously Ronaldo, Mane, St. Maximin's gone out there from Newcastle. So, Jim, they are stocking their league, and each team was a relatively high calibre player. Far from at the end of their careers for a lot of these guys. Okay, some are, but Kante's going out there is not. So, it's an argument that Gareth, he hasn't really got enough players to pick from, Jim, and Henderson is a really important member of his squad. Now, if you looked at the squad that played together in the Euros, not too many of them were going to be too old. Henderson's one of the most senior players, and I would have thought somebody he'd look to bring with him.
Yeah.
So, no, I think it's right and proper that he gives him that chance and he takes a look at the calibre of league he's in, the quality of player, and see how he's performing. If he's the outstanding player and the competition's good enough, then I don't see why he can't continue. But it is a doubt.
You can't pick him. It's a retirement home. In the names you mentioned there, N'Golo Kanté, how many games did he play for Chelsea in the Premier League last season? So he might not be at the veteran stage of his career, but he's clearly not up to the rigours of the Premier League anymore.
Kanté? He's not too old at all.
Well, he's injury blighted.
So St. Maximin's too old, is he?
St. Maximin
Mahrez
different,
is too old?
St. Maximin, is he a top-level Premier League player? You look at his numbers, I don't think he was. You can't pick Jordan Henderson. He doesn't pick Chris Smalling, who's been one of the best defenders in Serie A. He's reluctant to pick Tomori because he's playing in Serie A. How can you possibly pick someone who's playing in a pub league in Saudi Arabia?
It's not down to the league they're in, it's down to their performances. The manager doesn't feel convinced that Smalling has the ability in possession of the ball to play in the England team, so he doesn't go that direction. Tomori is another one who maybe doesn't mark very well from crosses. He's quite good in a 1v1 situation, but some of his defending's flawed. I would look at it in that manner. I wouldn't look at it the league he's playing in. We know Henderson's has got the skill set we need. He's a leader of the pack.
There's better players in midfield to pick for those European Championships than someone who's playing in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but I feel that Liverpool will be weaker for him leaving that midfield, along with Milner. I think that's a big blow to Liverpool. He's a big leader. He's a force.
A blow in terms of character, but again, he didn't start a lot of games for Liverpool.
The thing is, Alex, as more and more players head to Saudi, and they do, I mean, does that not diminish this argument that they're not going to be good enough for their nation? I mean, Ruben Neves, that surprised us. Through he goes. Now, he still fully expects to be selected by Portugal. And no doubt will.
Top of his peak of his powers.
I'll give you Ruben Neves. Do
you think Benzema's
we saw that as a bit of a game changer at the time. Well, Benzema's clearly not the force of old.
Well, he's not exactly an old man, is he? He's going to go there and do well. They're looking for a performance.
Yeah, but Martin, Alex is right to a degree. Until the Saudis prove us wrong,
of course, so it'd be wrong of Gareth to dismiss him, wouldn't it?
It's a highly paid retirement home.
But as Gareth said 3 months ago, it was a different opinion. Now you see the calibre player going there. We should take notice a little bit.
Yeah, but why are they going there? We know why they're going there.
But they are, but they're putting together maybe an outstanding league at the end of the day. Of course, they didn't get Messi, but they're getting a whole host of other players.
If James Ward-Prowse gets his move to West Ham and he plays regularly for West Ham and he plays well for West Ham, and Jordan Henderson, who's playing in Saudi Arabia, gets picked ahead of him for the European Championships, if I were James Ward-Prowse, I'd be fuming.
I don't think he's going to pick Ward-Prowse. I think he's made his mind up on him.
So you think he'd pick Jordan Henderson playing in Saudi Arabia ahead of Ward-Prowse playing regularly in the Premier League?
If I think it's Gareth Southgate's right, if he feels that he's playing well enough in the league he finds himself in, and he's up to the level that the manager considers him to be at, he picks him. Why should he dismiss him? There was how many players, English players, that are playing currently in the Premier League, Jim? Is it something like 28%, 30%?
No, but before we go off that topic, though, Martin, if you were playing in the Saudi League, say, or put it this way, if you're playing in the Premier League and Gareth picks somebody who's gone to the Saudi League in your position over you're not going to be happy with Southgate.
Well, again, it depends on how well he's playing, isn't it, Jim?
No, but you're playing against superior opponents.
Why am Saudi Arabia. If I'm in competition with Henderson, all I can do is worry about what I do. I can't worry about what somebody else is doing. I just do my job. I don't get involved in the politics. I just play. I expect the manager to pick the best performers. And if Henderson's one of those, then he comes into that bracket, Jim. The league he plays in, okay, yes, it is in its infancy and it's just starting. So it's going to be very interesting. And it's probably unlikely that Henderson makes it into the England squad. But it doesn't mean to say that you totally dismiss him.
No,
you take a look at it. Yeah. I think it's intelligent to take a look at it and at least give him a chance.
I think if he picks him, it's just going to add fuel to the critics that Gareth Southgate has got. The people who say that he picks his favourites. You look at Calvin Phillips, who, despite the fact he barely started a game for Manchester City last season, keeps getting picked. If he picked Henderson, I think those criticisms would rear their head again.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.